Hello, all my stash busters out there. Welcome back to Scrapping the Stash with Gail. Project Catch Up 2026, a scrapbook challenge. I'm sorry I've been away for a bit, but I've been busy scrapbooking and getting through all of my January layouts. So let's go to my desk and I'll show you what I've been up to. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Project Catch Up 2026 Scrapbooking Challenge, I am laying the groundwork for getting caught up with my scrapbooking because I am 10 years behind, meaning that the last time I was working on scrapbooking before I took my hiatus, basically I was working on 2016 scrapbooking layouts and dabbling in 2017. So, what I challenged myself to do this year was to, in January, scrap everything in all the Januaries from 2016 to 2026. And that's what I accomplished this past month. I did 18 layouts. And it seems like January isn't a very busy month for us. So I'm sure that it will become more challenging as February has started, and I'm already working feverishly. And within 2 years of those 10 years, we took two really big trips. So I know that I am going to have lots of layouts coming from my February project catch up. So we are just going to go ahead and get started. I am feeling so good about these layouts because none of them are very plain, which I thought I was just going to basically mat it, slap it down, and move on. But I really am proud of myself for the way that these layouts turned out. This is a January, I think this is 2018. And this is just when my youngest son, Trey, became a kitchen manager at Mission Barbecue. And we went to celebrate his promotion in management. The one thing that I really like about this layout is the inking that I did on all these star clusters. I can bring it up for you to see. It really just makes all of those stars pop, and it really took that bright yellow and just kind of toned it down a little bit. I brought the yellow into this red, white, and blue layout because of the yellow in the background of these pictures. And so this was layout number one. And layout number two is depicting a trip that we went to in Las Vegas. January seems to be the time of year that we hit Vegas, and this was no different. This was 2020, and we went with the wolf pack that you hear me refer to all the time. It's my husband's gentleman friends and all the wives. We went to see Foreigner, which was the highlight of the trip for me. But we also played golf at Top Golf. And then, of course, we went into the casinos. Um, there are special stories behind this that I don't need to bore you with, but they are definitely funny memories for us. And I really liked this picture, so I blew it up to a 5x7. It's a great picture of me and my husband in one of the hotels. It was during the Japanese New Year, so all of the casinos were decorated for the Chinese New Year. This is just a sticker, and this pack I know is from one of the travel packs from Echo Park. Now, this next layout might be a little odd to you because, yes, that is my mouth. But I got COVID, this is my positive test at the beginning of 2022 after I had been fully vaccinated. And I was really, really sick. And I don't know what happened to me after that, but um, I just really took it upon myself to just make myself new. I was started doing my hair again and wearing makeup. I decided to get Invisaligns. So that's just kind of what this is commemorating. The other thing that I really like about this is the black background. This paper pack had a really neat color combo with the pink, sage, and turquoise, but it had these black uh, contrast to it, and I just really like that, and I embraced it. So I chose the black background and matted all my photos in black, and I just really like the way this turned out. I like the circular elements with the linear elements, and so just remembering that that I did have COVID when I did, and what it struck a new chord in me to better myself in my appearance and um, just really put more effort into myself. Moving on to Vegas in 2022. This was a great trip. This is one of my very good friends from childhood, and her husband is actually a paraplegic in a wheelchair. And so they wanted to experience Vegas with people that had been there before because they wanted basically to be able to get around and know how to do things easier because of her husband that's in the wheelchair. And let me tell you, he was a surprise and a half. We actually rode down an escalator with him in his wheelchair on the escalator. It was frightening for me, but he was like, yeah, I do this all the time. So, anyway, lesson learned. Don't underestimate your friends with wheels. This right here was just a last minute idea um, for the title for this layout. I got this in one of my Ollie's finds, and I liked it because it had the purpley pink glitter, and it was already layered. I'll bring this up for you so you can see it. So you can see how it's already a layered sticker, and it's blingy, and both of our favorite color is purple. Now it looks a little more hot pink, but I think it's because of the way that I took the colors out on this paper. And I loved this paper because all of these arrows they're on the paper. They're already printed on the paper. I didn't have to stamp them or anything. And it's just pointing in towards the pictures. And I just thought this was perfect for these multicolored layout of photos. And I love the vertical element of the stripes on this paper here, and then the accent again with the same paper pad going horizontal here. We did stay at the Aria, which was just a really neat thing all on its own. But again, going in January, you're hitting the Chinese New Year, and so everything was decorated. I'm telling you, if you want to go to Vegas and experience it when it's at its finest, go in January when it's all decorated for the Chinese New Year. Oh, and we did go see a Blue Man Group. And that was quite the experience as well. I wanted to show you too. This was a funny note about Vegas. They had high-heeled Crocs in a window, and I thought, only in Vegas, right? Now, most of you on my channel have grown to know that I am a wino. I love to go to wineries and wine tastings and that. And this celebratory sips paper that I have coveted forever, I am putting it to good use. These are my Scrap Gal Pals, and this layout is actually depicting two separate events. And I just used this paper pack to actually combine the events into one layout. It was obviously in January, so it was around the holidays. So there in the pictures, there's just little bits and pieces and elements of Christmas. So I wanted to bring that in just minimally. And so I used these frames here with these ornaments and pine cones and greenery in them just to bring just a scotch, just a titch of the holiday flavor into this layout. So I think that this really turned out nice. I love the elements of the wine glasses and the wine bottles and the tags, just all kinds of really neat elements in these clusters. And I fussy cut all of those items out of the celebratory sips designer series paper from Stampin' Up. Now all of this other paper is not from that designer series paper. So again, I'm using stash items in with brand new things. I love mixing things like that. So also, if you've seen my flip throughs of my old albums, my first page in all my albums are blank because I used to um, not do single page layouts because of my OCD would kick in. And if I did a one page layout, what was I going to put on the other side? So I never did one page layouts, but I got a tip from another fellow scrapbooker that you could put your New Year's resolutions or a homage to the new year on the first page. And so I took that to heart and I've been doing it ever since. This is Happy New Year for 2024. It's just me and my husband at midnight or after midnight. And this paper pack is the from Stampin' Up. It is the Blue Florals, I think is what it's called. And it was the first product of the month. And you can purchase this for $5 when you order $75 or more. And it is while supplies last, and they still have these paper packs available. So if you went to Stamping Up as of February 2026, this paper pack is still available for $5 with a $75 purchase. But I just thought this was the perfect blue colors because we're both just happened to be wearing blue. Here we go, 2024. And of course, you know that I would start scrapbooking my grandson. So this layout is from the January after he was born. He was just brand new. This is January 2024. And these are professional photos that Mama and my son had taken with the baby. And basically as the announcement that he's here. And these strips here are from a 6x6 paper pack from Echo Park. I can't remember what the name of it is, but any 6x6 paper pack would do for this. But you just cut 2-inch, I think they're actually 1.5-inch strips. Let's see here. 1 3/4-inch strips by 6-inch, and I inked around them and then just attached them to a white cardstock and matted my photos. This is a very simple layout, but I love the way it turned out with the frames, bringing in the color and all the little word sentiments. I just left that as my journaling because it is just talking about how this little baby boy has stolen my heart. And of course, we have so many pictures of that baby that I decided to just pay homage to this baby one layout a month. So these are all the pictures that we took of him with Grandpa and with myself. And then his mama does a good job of taking pictures when he turns a new month old. So this title I got from ChatGPT, Once Upon a First Month, and just love the way this turned out. I love the colors on it. And if you can see, this is a stamp. It is a kind of like a wood slice. And I don't believe this is available anymore, but it is a Stampin' Up image, but I use that as my cluster base for all these storybook characters down here. I just love this. Look at this little grandma. I don't know if it's a skunk or a raccoon or a weasel. I don't know, but I don't care. I just think she's darling, and she's knitting. And I just thought that was cute to put next to my grandma picture. I just love the color scheme of this and how sweet and soft it is. And this is another front page for a scrapbook, an album. This is the New Year 2025. We actually were at church, volunteering at our church um, a couple days after New Year's. And so I didn't take any pictures on New Year's Eve this year. I'm not really sure why, but the first pictures for 2025, we were volunteering at our church. And for me, that was a perfect way to start a book and a new year, and just this the start of 2025's health journey that we went on. And so we started off getting our souls right, and just really took off with our health journey in 2025. One thing that I really love about this is how easy this is. These are just 4 separate pieces of paper. You butt the corners up and you cut them off. I mean, it's just so simple to make this layout. And then this circle, I thought, this paper, as soon as I saw it, I thought of these stripes behind this word art at our church. And so I just used that to pick the color scheme, and then matched these colors to highlight that striped paper. I know, more baby, but this is a different year. This is a year later, so this is 2025. We do watch our grandson one Saturday a month, and so we love to take pictures of him. And I took inspiration from his sleeper here to find this paper, and then also make this banner for the title up here. And then there is just a little bit of orange over here, so I just took that as a cue to use that as the accent color. And all of these little pieces on here are also from Echo Park. And then this paper and this cardstock is from a paper pad from Michael's that I have just fallen in love with. I am almost through the entire pack, but it was a hot buy, just a $5 paper pad, and it has served me well. Now, there's a funny story with this. We wanted to treat the grandson, of course, and then his parents to the circus. The Shriner Circus comes to town, to Fort Wayne. They've been coming for decades, and none of them had been to the circus. Now, I had multiple times, but none of them had. So I wanted so badly to take them all to the circus. And while we were sitting waiting, right after this picture was taken, we were sitting close to where the performers were, and this clown came up and was getting us kind of amped up. And he wanted us to cheer and yell as loud as we could. And so he counted 1, 2, 3, and then everyone whooped, including loudmouth grandma. And I startled this baby, and there was no turning back. He was crying. He was done. He wanted nothing to do with the circus. And that's where I came up with this title, Circus Unseen. Now, what ended up happening is I basically left with the baby and took him home. And he was quite happy to get his snacks and his drink at my house. But the rest of them stayed and watched the circus. So it was kind of a win-win situation. But I will never forget what Grandma did to that baby. And look at these, these embellishments. This is just a die cut or a thin die from Stampin' Up. And these are elements from Canva that I just printed off and cut out and used those as embellishments. I love this little elephant. I think he's dressed just like the elephants were at the circus. Now, this is kind of a homage to my mother, who passed away in April of 2025. This is her right here. And so my grandson, Oliver, loved to go see Gigi Marge. And there's this little, it's kind of like a terrarium rather than a cage, but they have live birds. And Oliver just loved to go look at the birds, and he would just like tap. He wouldn't pound on the glass, but he would tap the glass and just love watching those birds fly away. And she just loved visiting with him. And he was learning to walk during this time. And so he walked over with his mom over to me with my blanket. That's my blanket. And he's not asleep there, but he just fell in front of me and was just like, I am exhausted. I just thought that was the cutest thing. And this is my beloved mother. I love her so much. But this is 4 generations. Her, of course, and then my brother Randy, his son Tony, and then these are Tony's 2 sons, Evan and Eric. They live in Arizona, so they were out to visit and went to see her as well. This is just more of that blue floral paper pack, and it was a very simple layout, but I love the way it turned out with all of this blue in the pictures and then the blue in the background. Love this big camera too. There is a stamp set that is coming in March that will have this great big um, camera. It's called Capturing Smiles. Sorry for the camera wiggle. But you can cut out the shutter, stamp the shutter. I love this film strip here. You can stamp these vignettes and put them in the strip. This is going to be a great bundle for you to get in March. So watch for this to be on a few future layouts soon. So that was all past scrapbooking. Now this is this year's January. So this is New Year's Eve. I actually got several pictures of us this time. And of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes played in the playoffs New Year's Eve. And so we had to watch that game. And of course, they lost. So we weren't kind of in the mood after that. And so we drove home in the worst weather. It was snowy, but we did make it home just in time to watch the ball drop, turn 2026, and go to bed. That's kind of what we ended up doing, how we started our 2026. And the very next day, New Year's Day, I went to a scrapbooking retreat. Can you imagine starting the year out with a crafting retreat? These are my scrap gal pals. You've seen them in many, many layouts. We go to the same place every quarter, except for in the summertime, we turn it into a girls' lake weekend. But this is the group here that went this year to Quaker Haven. And we crafted. It was beautiful outside. The snow and the lake was frozen. We had lots of space and all of our stuff. We actually had an extra guest. One of my girlfriends, her dog, aka Rodeo, actual name Cowboy, was along with us. He had hurt his foot. You could see his little socky there over his foot. And she is his person. And he is, I want to say he's like 50. Like he's like 18 years old. I mean, he is a very old dog. He did not bark once the whole weekend. But the funny thing about this is we're not supposed to have pets. And so I'm probably telling on myself now, but we're not supposed to have pets there. But he was so quiet, and he didn't make a peep. But of course, the plumbing in the cabin we were in, it was so cold. I don't even know what happened. It froze. I don't know, but there were maintenance people in and out all weekend. And so we took turns hiding with him in the bedroom. He looks like he's really close to the camera, but really what it is I'm just taking a selfie with him. So we had a great time, but I got so much done this weekend because I started my project catch up at this retreat. This is my daughter-in-law. She is beautiful and the mother of my grandchild. This is Miss Jamie Beth, so that's why it's JBS. And so this is her birthday bash. She turned 25 this year. And so all she wanted to do was get together as a family, have Chick-fil-A, and play Jackbox TV. If you're not familiar with Jackbox TV games, you basically it's their internet games, but you use the television as your game board, or everyone can see, and then they just play through their cell phone. It's fun. There's a lot of variety, and we just have so much fun doing that. But of course, the star of the show was Oliver. He loves uh, I want to say Snapfish, that's right, Snapchat filters. And so every time he's looking in the camera, that's what he's waiting for. So if he's looking at your phone with you and sees this, he's waiting for you to turn on a filter. But as he was waiting for me to do something, he decided to jam that finger up in his nose. And Grandma was like, really? Is that what you're going to do right now? Anyway, so funny. And then, of course, these are actual like shag rugs downstairs in our basement, and he kept covering up with them. It was the funniest thing. Anyway, so I love the thing that I love besides him about this layout is the fact that I got to use pink. I hardly ever get to use pink. And when I showed her this layout after it had been done, she's like, oh my gosh, these papers remind me of my childhood. She said she used to have a purse that had green flowers on it like this. And she says the color scheme just reminded her of her childhood. And I just thought that was so special. But anyway, I love this layout. The banners are great. Anyway, I just really thought that this was special, especially for me to be able to use pink. Okay, another layout of the grandson. I know, I know. I promise there's other things coming, especially in February. February, there will be Hawaii and cruise photos and all kinds of stuff. But this little kid is cute and he has my heart. So he's going to be the main show. This was just the Saturday that we had him. And he is getting so curious and so smart, starting to role play. So here we're using blocks to play telephone. And all of these embellishments like this are basically from Canva. And I just printed them out and cut them apart. This is a die. You get 2 for 1, and I think I've shown this before. And then this I actually printed and cut out from Canva as well, paying homage to the fact that we rearranged our living room and we have this huge area now for him to run and play. So much room for activities is a line from Step Brothers movie. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. It's a little dark humor. If you don't like it, don't watch it. But anyway, the a funny story about this is that he was just talking and gibberish to his grandpa, and we thought we heard the word beautiful. And my husband said, "Did you just say grandma's beautiful?" And the look on Oliver's face was like, what are you talking about? And then he says, no, clear as day. We died laughing. It was so funny. Anyway, without even knowing it, he just makes us laugh. Okay, last one. Now, these two, again, are two different events, but it is the same, say, subject. So right outside my window at work, there is this tree. And I mean, the birds that are chirping and singing in that tree sound like they are in my office. I mean, it is loud, loud, loud. And this winter, someone is continuing to put continuing to fill the bird feeders out there. And so these fat birds are coming to this feeder and they are just indulging. Look at this fat bird. Look how fat he is. Both of these fat birds, they are fat birds, these sparrows. But this day, there was this gorgeous sunrise. I mean, it was gorgeous. Everyone was standing in the parking lot taking pictures of it. And then by it was really nice out, very pretty. And then by noon, this storm came through and plastered. I mean, this is the same day. This and this is the same day. And it plastered us with snow. And so these birds were so confused, but um, they still had food. They were just well taken care of. They were very confused, like I said, but it made for some great pictures. And then this is the same tree. However, we had a big, fat blue jay move in. I mean, this guy is fat, and he chases all these sparrows away all the time. But I'm telling you, they don't give up. They gang up on him. I assume it's a him. I don't know why. It might be a her. I don't know. But they gang up on this blue jay and chase him off, and then it comes back with its mate. So there's a pair eventually. But the main thing I wanted to show about this is these are two different events. So I made the layouts a little different, but I tied the colors in together, the turquoises, the greens, and the oranges. I put a border, a frame around this, but I still used the birds as shadows for embellishments. And I just made them just a little different so that it depicted um, the difference in the time frames. And then this also has a flip flap on it. So thanks for hanging out in my craft room. I did get so much done for January. I'm so proud of myself. Look at that stack. Look at that stack. I'm very proud of what I accomplished. So the last thing I'm going to do with these, obviously, is put it into my organization shelf in my closet of my craft room. And if you want more information on my project catch up and join me in 2026, getting caught up on your scrapbooking, go ahead and watch the project catch up kickoff. I will link that in the description, that video in the description below. That way you can kind of get a few more details on what I'm trying to accomplish. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'm really looking forward to 2026 getting caught up and actually being able to scrapbook in the moment and scrapbook what's going on in my life currently. Stay tuned because next week, Friday, I will post a video and we're bringing back alphabet roulette. More to come on that. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you stay up to date on my content. Thanks for watching. Keep scrapping that stash. Bye-bye for now.